Hey everyone. Well, I wasn't sure it was ever gonna happen, but the 2023 gardening season has finally arrived. We had a very, very cold winter, very long winter, so seeing all this green just makes me so happy. So I thought I'd take you through. We have a nice cloudy morning, and if the rain holds off, I can kind of show you what's going on here. Here we've got some peas climbing up the trellis. They're called early frosty peas, but they haven't really proven to be early at all. I have my little garden helper, May. Hi, can you say hello? Hi, yeah. She loves to be in the garden with me and help. I've got garlic going down the middle of the bed. This is a hardneck garlic, so I should be getting scapes really soon. I've got tomatoes. There is a summer squash right there, and then just a few carrots dotted here and there. Over here, I've got a winter squash that's going to climb the trellis, hopefully, and then a ton of broccoli here. It's definitely overplanted. I spaced them a little too close. I started too many starts, and it was just like so hard to pick the best one that I just planted them all. And you know what? You can actually plant this intensively as long as you have really, really fertile beds and you give them lots of water. We have cabbage on this side that's starting to head up. We've got a few of the broccoli varieties are actually putting on some heads. There's a couple different cauliflower right here. Over this way, we've got more cabbage. I planted a lot more cabbage this year because we have a little cabbage lover in the house who just likes to take chunks off of the cabbage leaves, but also she actually loves eating cabbage too. And we just tend to use a lot more cabbage than we do broccoli, although she loves broccoli as well. I have little baby basil plants down here. Baby basil. I've got this garlic coming up through the middle. It's grown a lot taller than it has in past years, and I think that must just be because it is competing with the cabbage and the broccoli on the other side, because I've never seen it this tall. It's kind of enormous. We've got some red cabbages as well. They're getting really crowded in there, unfortunately. More broccoli on this side. A few little heads coming through here and there. Some really big red cabbage right there. And more cabbage on this side. This is elephant garlic right here. Just also putting on some scapes. This is the first year I've grown elephant garlic, so I'm excited to see how that turns out. I've got some little tiny pepper plants that I've been popping in wherever I can, but these are my pepper beds, and they're completely full of cabbage and broccoli right now, so the few places I've been able to tear stuff out, I've been able to put in my pepper plants, but they're really behind this year, so I'm hopeful I will still get some peppers at the end of the season, because this is a very late start. I actually still have a full flat of peppers that need to be planted that are just kind of sitting there waiting. I just don't have the heart to tear out, all of this beautiful cabbage and broccoli. So I'm kind of playing a waiting game. This is what you do when you have to, meter out your space. You kind of have to interplant whenever you can. This lettuce got decimated by a hungry horse that was out here eating grass in the yard and then decided she'd rather have some lettuce. I really love this. I think it's called Merlot, I want to say. I wouldn't say like the taste is outstanding, but the color is actually really very ornamental. It's a really pretty lettuce. I've got some butterhead lettuce that's bolting. Those need to be pulled out right there. On this side, this bed is mostly empty because again, we had a hungry horse come through and eat most of the lettuce. This was completely full of lettuce and spinach. The spinach bolted and the lettuce got eaten by a horse. So there are just a few little, there's a habanero, Thai hot pepper, and then I have a couple of eggplant, really small eggplant starts in there that are just not really taking off yet. We've had cool days, so we haven't had the heat that you kind of need to really make the pepper and eggplant take off. On this side, more garlic down the middle, a few cauliflower plants. I've got a summer squash that will vine all over this trellis. I've got cucumber, more peas. These are green arrow variety, I believe. The fact that they haven't even flowered yet is like incredibly unusual. It just has been a weird year. So I don't even know that we're going to get any peas, because if they haven't flowered at this point, it's going to get hot soon. It's going to be really too hot for peas very shortly. On this side, I did something a little different. I planted potatoes all down this side. Typically, I would have put cucumbers, but I decided to switch it up a little. I do have small cucumber starts on all of these trellises going down. I planted a lot more cucumbers this year because we have a pickle queen right there who would eat pickles all day, every day if we let her. So I decided this year I'm going to be canning a lot of pickles to keep her happy. So we're going to be making pickles, aren't we, May? Yeah. Yep. These are pots down here that are filled with potato plants. They're really happy. Last year I struggled with my potatoes. Oh, they're just starting to flower too. I don't think I had the soil right in the containers. They were just not, they were too dry or too wet. I couldn't figure out the soil situation, and so I just didn't get much of a yield, and the plants didn't look great. But I think amending the soil and adding more organic material in there has helped a lot. They're obviously doing well. I think I'm going to get a pretty good yield from those. So that's this garden right now. We've got, some really nice, like, low 70s temperatures in the next 2 weeks. So I think all of this broccoli and cabbage hopefully will be done and out of here soon, and I can get my peppers in. But it's been last 2 months have been really temperate and nice. So it's done the garden good to have some temperate spring weather. But what I really wanted to show you is the flowers right now are really, really pretty. They have liked the kind of temperate weather as well. So I've gotten some gorgeous blooms. I wanted to show you, this is called meadow rue. These are the coolest flowers. I planted them last year, and they were really tiny and didn't do much, but they're going for it this year. They're beautiful. And all of this purple salvia, so beautiful every year. The variety is called May Night, which is why I planted them, mostly for the name. And this time of year, this is when they're in their full glory. I'll cut them back and they'll rebloom again later in the summer, but they really are so pretty. They're so pretty with these alliums, which are bloomed out now. They're done, but they're called Purple Sensation, and the combination of the purple of the alliums with the salvia is just beautiful. These are new alliums to me. I planted them in the fall, and they're a really cool color. I like the kind of burgundy plum color. You got strawberries? Yep. Strawberries are here. They're ripening more and more every day. So we've got some right there. It's rare to see a red one in our garden because May usually gets to them before they're even red. She picks them when they're still just barely pink. She loves strawberries so much. I can't plant enough strawberries to keep this girl happy. So you can tell she wasn't out in the yard yesterday. We were gone most of the afternoon, and we have some red strawberries as a result. Over here, not much is happening at the moment because this is kind of my sunflower bed, and we just haven't had the super hot weather that really brings out the sunflowers, but you can see they're there. They're just not flowered yet, but they will be. Over here, this bed is really coming into its own. I'm just loving the super full kind of cottage garden look, and this is the time where the Nepeta, the catmint, is really in its full glory. It's just beautiful this time of year, so I wanted to show you that. But this is starting to kind of shape up to look how I imagined it to. I love this grass. It's called hameln. I'm not pronouncing that right. But it's got a really soft kind of airy look that I like. And then these are Queen of Sweden English roses. They're just starting to bloom, and they're just so pretty. I've got some foxglove blooming back there. I love the contrast with the smoke bush right behind it. That kind of deeper purple is really pretty against the foxglove. There's a lot that's just about to bloom, so I'll have to come back through here maybe in a few weeks. This is yarrow. That's going to be pretty when it pops. This larkspur is just starting to bloom. There's a lot that's kind of almost, but not quite. But this like bank of catmint here is just beautiful. And then we're maybe a week or two away from this hedge of lavender blooming, and this gara on the other side is a white gara, which is really pretty when it blooms as well. So there's a lot that's almost but not quite. Ooh, are you showing off your jumps? Nice. Wow, good job, May. Up here we've got this rose. This was here when we moved in, so I don't know the variety name. It's a really super bright red, which looks pretty against, this is I think called Bumble Sky Salvia. It's like a really pale bluish purple. It's a pretty combo. This lamb's ear I planted last year, and it has completely filled in and almost taken over the salvia. May loves it because it's really soft, so she's constantly picking on it and just like carrying the leaves around because they're super soft. Are you showing off the grass, May? You love that grass. It's nice and soft. Very tactile. These pots are starting to fill in. Got some pretty stuff in here. African daisies. I think this is it's like a double petunia. I can't remember the name of it. Some sweet alyssum. This is beautiful. It smells like honey. I love alyssum. In here, not much is happening. I just planted a hydrangea right there and some blueberry bushes towards the back, but those are probably going to take a while to settle in. This hardy geranium and smoke bush combination is really nice. These hardy geraniums spread like crazy. They're really nice, and they look great with the deeper purple, like I said before. But they do spread a lot, so that's something to keep in mind with hardy geraniums. You kind of have to keep them in check. There's my garden duo. These guys follow me everywhere. This is Duncan, not my cat, as some of you know him, and then my little garden shadow, May. So I'll be back to show you guys some of the other blooms as they come in, But this is kind of, oh, I wanted to show you these hostas. These are humpback whale hostas. They're supposed to get like 7 feet wide or something like that. I don't know that they will here because this is a pretty kind of sandy, really poor soil, and it's, you know, it doesn't get like a ton of water. So I don't know that they'll get 7 feet wide, but they are finally looking decent. I planted them 2 years ago, and I've been questioning myself ever since because they looked really kind of crappy the last 2 years. And this year they look awesome. I don't know if it was because they got a lot of moisture this winter. We had a ton of snow this winter, so maybe they're happier now because of that. But I'm starting to kind of see the vision of what I had in mind here. You know, these hostas are supposed to really kind of fill in the area, and now they're finally starting to do that. So anyways, that's what the garden looks like this time of year. So I'll be back, like I said, in a couple weeks, and we'll show you the other blooms and kind of update as things progress. So yeah, thanks guys, see you later.